It has been 7 months since the start of my health journey that has radically changed my life. And I wanted to give you guys an update because I've had a couple of questions here and there, and I thought it's the perfect time. I will offer you my update. So for those of you that don't know, back in July, everything kind of came to a head. Like 20 years of anxiety and just chronic stress, lots of PMDD symptoms, hot flashes, night sweats. I had severe fatigue. I was having all sorts of stomach problems. Like I pretty much would say anything that could be going wrong with me was going wrong with me. And I finally decided, hey, let's go to the doctor. So I got tested for a bunch of stuff. I got tested for Crohn's. I had my iron tested. I had full blood panel to just see where all my numbers were at. And what came back was that my ferritin levels were super low, and that's the storehouse of your iron. And I have had chronically low ferritin over the years. And it makes me wonder, at the start, when I was about 19 and I started experiencing a lot of anxiety just out of the blue, could this have been due to low iron then? I don't know, because I wasn't getting tested for it then. So I got on a great vitamin regimen. I got on a great iron supplement. And let me tell you what, for 2.5 years, I had been told that most likely I was going through perimenopause at 37. And I was like, what? So when I started taking my iron and my vitamins, and I also went gluten-free, corn, rice-free, and pretty much preservative-free and dairy-free for about 6 weeks, because I was just falling apart head to toe. I was an absolute mess. Suddenly, my energy level was amazing, and my cycles were normal. My hot flashes and night sweats went away. My PMDD, and I'm talking severe PMDD, went away. Premenstrual cramping, gone. Most of my bloating, gone. And I felt on top of the world. I had so much energy that I was doing like so much exercising because I just felt this like pent up storehouse of energy that was just overflowing, and I didn't know what to do with myself. That's all calmed down. And I got off of anxiety medicine. I felt amazing, you guys, just absolutely amazing. And I can link that whole video series below where you can see when I was on my major struggle bus, sitting here in my car, bawling my eyes out for you guys, because I just felt like I was at the end of my rope, and I had really come to the end and thought, I am going crazy. I don't want to be alive. Life is just too hard, and I can't function day to day like I want to. So that was back in July of 2024. It is now February of 2025. And some of you don't really know that whole story because I've mentioned how my anxiety has been gone. You're like, oh, what'd you do? Well, when I was 19, I remember the day I woke up and I felt different, and I just cried a bunch, and I had like crazy anxiety that overtook my life, especially in my 20s. I mean, I would miss work, and I was going to a community college at the time, and like I couldn't show up for some of my classes, which is not like me at all. I'm very studious. And I was just I thought, I'm making bad life choices, and it's just, I don't know, I was a mess. I wasn't eating well. I wasn't taking care of my body like I should. And I was just in a heap of trouble, friends. And so that just grew, and it was like, where it started, it just became to overtake my life. And it was just like, I am an anxious person. That is my identity. That's who I am. And I can still have fun and laugh, but it controlled my life. It controlled my life completely. And then I went through bouts of time when I had massive social anxiety. I'm like, I can be a chatty person, though I would still say, though some people might not agree, that I am like, there's a part of me that's very introverted and part of me that's very extroverted. I just found somebody that said it's like ambiverted. Ambivert? That sounds weird. That sounds like a pervert. I don't know. That's not what I am. Ambivalent. I'll look it up. It's very interesting. So you like, in certain circumstances, being with people really refreshes you and makes you feel great. And in other circumstances, it really just drains you and exhausts you and gives you lots of fatigue. And you just want to go home and hide and just be by yourself. And I love being by myself. It's wonderful. But I also, I like to be out and about as well. So all that to tell you, Where am I now in February? I would say that my eating has kind of gone downhill somewhat in the last couple of months. And I'm starting to notice that if I eat things with a lot of sugar in them, I do start to feel some anxiety, but I would say it's kind of short-lived, and I can see, okay, this is something that I need to get under control so that I can feel better. But all of my IBS symptoms were gone. So they ruled out Crohn's because when I did an elimination diet, in 6 weeks, like all of my symptoms left me. There was one time, was it last month, that I thought, but then that whole thing, it just resolved itself. It's like my insides healed, and I continued to make some good choices months after that elimination diet that I think was very, very helpful. Iron supplement got my iron levels up. They're great. I haven't had a retest. I think I'm due for one here. Yes, I am due for one. So I'm going to have to get that done. Magnesium glycinate is my bestest friend. That's what really helps with the PMDD and just feeling in my place. And it's still working so well for me. I'm actually to the point now where I feel a little too chill after I take it. Like, I'm here, but I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never done drugs, so I don't know if it's like that at all, but it really mellows you out and almost makes me sometimes feel like I have all the time in the world, and we're just gonna do that thing we do. We don't always have all the time in the world. We need a little spunk to our step, a little pep in our step. So I experimented recently with bumping down my 2 pills to just 1. And I thought, yeah, this felt great. So continuing to do that. My eating, when we get back from Florida, we are just going to have like a total body reset, but I am starting to make some better choices here while I can. And that's good. I just love sugar, and I gave it up, and it was so awesome. And I was so big on protein and just eating like low glycemic carbs and good fats and great proteins. And so I was so satiated that those fast sugars, those crazy ones that'll get you, like the Reese's peanut butter cups, they didn't really have a pull on me. But then once you open the door and let them in, they march right on in. They're like, I'm here, and I want you to eat all the things. And yeah, I do. So I am seeing that is having a negative effect on my life. And I don't like that. So I'm taking note, and I'm trying to take strides and steps to change that and kind of reel that back in and go, okay, why are we making healthy choices? I think that's something that is really important, is knowing the why. And I recently heard somebody say you need 3 reasons to do something, because if one of those things fails, like one day, you've got the other ones to hang on to. And I thought, I love that. So my reasons for eating healthy: when I eat high protein and I eat low glycemic index carbs, I am so satiated that the food noise disappears. I'm not stressing about what I'm eating and what I should be eating or shouldn't be eating or how this makes me feel, because I feel awesome and my energy is beautiful. So I want some massive energy. I don't want the food noise. I don't want to have to think about all of those things. And when I stay away from sugar and I stay away from high glycemic index carbs, potato chips, oh my word. I'm not a big chip person, but I had them back in January sometime. Oh, for Ezra's birthday, he wanted some chips. Well, I had a little too many. I was so exhausted after I ate those chips. It was just like, at night, it just does stuff to me. Too many French fries, watch out, here I go, nighty nighterson, and it's like, 9:30 in the morning. Who's eating French fries 9:30 in the morning? Not me, but I'm just giving you an example. It's not reality, it's just an example. I want sustained energy. Obviously, fatigue and me are not. I don't enjoy that. And I've had such great energy for the most part, except for those times when I get a little crazy. I want to feel satiated. I don't want to have those constant food noise of my mind going, oh, I shouldn't eat this and I should eat that and I should do this and I should. No, you just eat the high protein, the good fats, and the low glycemic carbs. And let me tell you what, your world is right, my friend. Like, I'm so satisfied. It doesn't obsess in my brain cells. And I think there was another reason I wanted to be a healthy eating, but I think like reduce food noise, satiety, feeling satiated, and having sustained energy. So all of those things are really important to me. And I may not have all of those things every single day, but when I continue into that world of eating healthy, I sure do feel really good, and it keeps me on track. PMDD is good. We're good with that. Not a problem. And I am feeling like my anxiety is in check and feeling really good. I used to always say, I just don't want to feel anxious, just want to be happy. Well, it's not possible to be happy all the time. Anxieties come even to someone who would not classify themselves as an anxious person. Stresses come, life happens, right? Let me tell you what, we've had a lot of life happening during this life recently. Ezra split his chin open. We're in Florida right now. So Ezra split his chin open. We had to take him in and get stitches. Jojo had this tooth that would not come out. It caused her to have an abscess. The adult tooth grew in the back. It was doing all sorts of problems to her. So while we're out of town in Florida, we took her in, had her tooth removed. Zion lost a tooth while we were here, which wasn't traumatic at all. That one was fine. Then one of the kids spilled a really hot soup on their lap, probably like 3rd-degree burns. So we're dealing with that. Another one got very sore throat, and then the next day was vomiting. Carpet in the resort. Guys, it's been something, okay? So there are stressors in life. There are things that can cause a bit of anxiety, but because of how my health is going, I'm really able to deal with those things pretty darn well. I do say so myself. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, things are going great. I'm feeling right as the rain. And I feel like I've really come into the time of my life where this is my new normal. And there has been some adjusting, which we've talked about. The adjusting to not feeling anxiety or PMDD or feeling terrible when you eat it's really life-changing, and it kind of does these weird things to your brain cells, because your body and your mind have been going along this path for so long, and then it stops. And you're like, oh my goodness, I feel good. And thankfully, I don't feel afraid that it's all going to come back. I feel like I have been building tools over the last 7 months. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of soul searching, that I feel like I have a good handle on it. And that as things arise, because there's no way for us to stay static. Your life is always changing and things come along your path, and then you have to sort of reevaluate and go, okay, here I'm at this new place in my life right now. And for me, okay, I'm at this new place. The sugar ain't doing it for you, Megan. You got to stop that. And the only way that you're going to reduce the food noise is to continue eating super high protein, all the things that we said. And now mentally, what I'm dealing with is a very clean slate. Okay, so I'm not dealing with anxiety or depression or PMDD. I'm not dealing with stomach problems and trying to figure out food and terrible fatigue. I have energy, and I love waking up in the morning, and I'm loving life. And so those things are really good, but then you're in some ways the brain is going, what are we supposed to do about that? What are we supposed to do? Feeling good now. There's that element of kind of boredom, and I'm sitting with it. So we've been in Florida for several weeks now, and we've had lots of downtime and then lots of not downtime. But in those downtimes, I've had so much time to just settle into feeling bored or having nothing to do or not being productive. Mainly I'm not at home, so that now I'm in speed dating with all of this. Yes, I am speed dating my brain. What? I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm really starting to have this new life. And my brain, my body, my mental health, everything has to now get in line with that. Some of you may understand this thought. Okay, when I was in my early 20s, I've gained weight now, but that's fine. I've been building muscle. It's great. I was a certain amount, and I lost about 30 pounds due to anxiety medication. Actually, it took away all of my appetite and all of my life. I mean, I just felt numb to the world, so I would not suggest it. But I remember one day I worked at a clothing store, And I looked in the mirror after many months, and I looked at myself and I went, oh my gosh, that's what I look like? I couldn't believe it. Like all of a sudden my brain went, oh, that's what 30 pounds less looks like on you. And I remember exactly where I was standing when my brain and my body had a coming together, had a tay-to-tay. And I realized, wow, okay, this is what's going on. So that's sort of what my brain has been doing. It's like all of this is so amazing and I've been feeling so good. And my brain now has come to this point of going, well, what do we do now? Now that we don't have to stress about everything and we're not anxious and we're not depressed and we're not having terrible cycles and perimenopause symptoms and hot flat, what do we do now? And I am so appreciative that it really came at the perfect time when there's been a lot of downtime. I've been able to enjoy time alone, if that makes sense. Marcus has been just the best. And I'll be like, do you mind if I go sit by the pool and read? I went and read for 2 hours the other day. I mean, I might look a little bit red, but that's just sort of my natural undertone is sort of red. It's not burned. And I just like got to be with myself. And then because I'm still working and still filming for the grocery lady, some of the places that I have to go are about 20, 25 minutes away. And I have been just with myself in the car and really allowing myself to be and think and process. And I've been, writing things down here and there as they come to me and just had a lot of time for thought and reevaluating things. And you guys, it's just been the cat's meow. So this has been a really fantastic journey, and it's not over. When I go home, I know that I'm going to really be putting pedal to the metal and kind of just cleaning up my diet and getting back into the gym. The gym here is just not the same as the one at home. It's great, but it's just not the same. So when I go home, I've got plans for that, and and thinking through ways to get life done, but still feel that slower living and just enjoying the day and not feeling, the song, I've sang it for you before, I'm in a hurry to get things done, no, I rush until that's no fun, right? There's so much time to just be able to rest and relax, taking the time for myself, which I think is important. I'm not into like this whole big self-care thing, but just having time alone to rinse and reuse. Recharge. That's what I want to say. It's been wonderful, guys, and I'm loving it. I feel like I've got the tool belt and I know how to use the tools. And there are tools in the tool belt. I feel like that's what's come of this health update for you, is that I've been learning how foods affect me, how sleep affects me, how magnesium is like my lifeline, and iron is incredible. And having time to be by myself and process is just vital for my brain, for my body, for my joy, for working through all of the things that happen on the day-to-day of life. And also getting to spend fun time with my family and just enjoying sitting around the table with them, or we've been down at the pool and going on a walk or going to the playground. Yeah, there's been a lot of great things. So we're hoping for no more boo-boos though on this trip. We're hoping so hard. We don't want any more. But I am gonna head home. I am going to take some bananas home to the people, and we're just gonna do that thing we do. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I was thinking too that we could do a little Q&A if you're interested. If you want to put some of your questions down in the comments, I think it would be fun to do a little Q&A video and answer your questions. It can be about anything: motherhood, Meghan, life, wifing. I don't know. I don't necessarily have all the answers. It's just fun sometimes to answer questions and hear what you're interested in knowing. So put those in the comments and I'll be sure to do a video here really, really soon. You guys have an amazing day, and I will talk with you very soon. Toodaloo.